I need to look at the Harvard game. Or the Harvard match. Hold on. That started about 10 minutes ago. Perhaps. If they started on time. Let me tune into all the Texas Tech players. Alright, so we've got the end of a game here. Pardon me. So, when one match ends, the other begins. And let me change the title real quick. So that looks like a win for the Texas Tech team. Kevin, thank you for joining our Discord. It's quite lively. We've got a ton of students from all over there tuning in. Let's see. So, okay, that match was... That was board 1 versus board 4, so... Makes sense. Board 1 from Texas Tech won that one. This beast from the East... Oh, West. Hold on, who won this? So Black just won this. Oh, this didn't work out. Because Bishop guards. I don't know what they saw. This sacrifice did not work. They maybe saw, you know, Queen and Knight ganging up on G6, but the Bishop took, and Black won here. Grandmaster from Texas Tech. Andre Berishbolets. Pardon me if I butchered that, but yeah, Beast from West. Board 3 from Harvard, National Master. This is board 2 from Texas Tech. Let's look at this last game here. So, one random. This is board 1 for Harvard. This is board 4 for Texas Tech. A National Master on board 4. So, a very strong team here from Texas Tech. And I believe the winner of this match will go on to play against Mizzou. So either team that moves on, they have a big challenge ahead of them. Yes, GG's to UPenn. So UPenn's B team will go on to play against... Let me edit this real quick. They will play against Ohio State, yes. Okay. So... Let's see. So whoever wins this match will go to... play against Mizzou, and the loser will go to play against UC Berkeley A team. So UC Berkeley has a large opponent to face after this. Let's see. Do I have all the players? Okay, so this is the board 3 from Texas Tech against the board 2, Don Rule from Harvard. Let's see. There is a discovery here, but you gotta watch out for this long diagonal. Interesting decision, going with the F rook instead of the A rook to this open B file. Alright, I like this. Getting on this nice diagonal, pointing straight to the king. Alright, so queen is left. Doesn't want to stick around this diagonal too long. And yeah, if things open up, this bishop is undefended. But it's going to be a while. And plus, I think rook A to C1 should be pretty good for whites eventually. Unless you want to contest this open B file. Then you play rook to B1. But yeah, I like white's center so far. Black has, I think the rooks are still kind of awkward. I don't know why you want to leave the rook on the A file. And yeah, we always have to consider this F7 square is now much weaker since the F rook has decided to go. And, you know, it's not long off from some sort of coordinated attack along these light squares. So, very strong bishop placement here, I believe, from Team White. So, alright, and immediately questioning this bishop. We could go here with the threat on the rook. Let's see here. That's another purpose behind the queen moving back, is also to free up this A5 square for the knight. But yeah, I like bishop to D5 intermezzo. No, so not going for that. I was thinking you coordinate that with the knight to G5, but instead just electing to go back. Simple. Bishop D3. But I suspect that after bishop to D5, we would have like rook A7 or just knight back to C6. But I don't know. I would love to have stayed on this diagonal, because even if here knight G5 and E6, we could even consider sacrificing in some way, shape, or form. Get this queen out. But, you know, I think the rook can always come back to that file after it's been opened up. Okay, so what am I missing? Taking here twice. We have this rook trade potentially coming in. I think rook to C1 with tempo on the queen seems good. Still maintaining this really strong center control here from white. Black having to play kind of to the side of it, really on the queen side here. Let's see. Okay, lining up still. But, you know, just attacking the bishop. I think the bishop's going to come back to D3. I mean, we could take here first. But just bishop D3. This knight is annoying, to say the least. This is also annoying. So here, I think queen takes or bishop takes. I mean, it has to be one of the two. But I think eventually this bishop, or the rook's going to leave the diagonal. And we're going to be threatening some push here, or we want to move this knight out so that we can get the bishop here. Okay, so going for the rook trade, rook to B1. Trying to trade down here. White's up a piece, a pawn. excuse me, but still up in material. So going back to a8, doubled up on the a file. Now we have this outside pass pawn for white, so white's going to try to hang on to this guy for dear life. Maybe bishop to b5, anchoring it in here with the pawn on a4. Seems pretty solid. I think this is a huge advantage for white. I mean, huge might be absurd to say, but it's very concrete. And I think bishop to b5 makes a lot of sense. So now we're going to see a move like knight to nope, not b6. Instead going to f6. This is a nice pin. So we're going to play here and then queen here. Right. Queen to b3. Seems fairly obvious. So the threat is to win the knight. How exactly you defend it, I don't see it. You can grab a pawn. No, you can't. Alright, I think this is GG. I think black threw in the towel here. So Don Rule, board 2 for Harvard. Tough matchup. I mean, he's a national master against Pavel here. This is board 3 for Texas Tech. So, man, Texas Tech off to a hot start here. Harvard won their board 1 game against board 4, so that makes sense. Let's see. So this is board 1 from Texas Tech against Beast from Weast, board 3 from Harvard. So both titled players. As you can see, very strong board 1 for Texas Tech. Alexei Sorokin, 2852, FIDE master. And Beast from Weast, board 3 national master from Harvard. Let's see. So even material so far. Black does have the isolated pawn. It is being grabbed. So, I mean, is that just a free pawn? Or is black going to have some sort of compensation somehow? I'm not immediately seeing it. But maybe, I don't know. Okay, wow. Going all out here. So takes, queen check, king back. I mean, I was thinking about it, but I'm not too sure because I guess the rook wants to come in somewhere. Queen check now, king over, and now rook here, hitting the knight. This knight to f3 can be played, hitting the queen and having the queen defend d5. I personally don't think it's going to work, but black was in a position where they're down a pawn and they need to define compensation somehow. So they've gone for this bishop sacrifice. So down a whole bishop. But, you know, maybe there's some sort of... I mean, maybe there's some sort of mating pattern or some... Okay. Yeah. Going for the piece this way. Queen check with the fork. There is the block. But it's now a pinned piece. I still think... I don't know. I think white should be getting... Wow. Okay, so this is a pin, first and foremost. King's got to get out of the way. Otherwise, we play a move like g3 and the knight's no longer pinned. So the king steps to the side. Now, queen h5. Let's look at this. This guy has no time left. Veg Duck from Harvard. And that is GG and mate next on h8. Man, Texas Tech. Lots of titled players. Very strong team here. Oh, man. Yeah. This knight on the back rank. Really blocking off the rook's communication. So, really tough spot. And they have started their next game. So, let's look at... Well, we saw that. Okay. Oh, this is the next round already. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Texas Tech is winning convincingly so far. Let's see. What's going on here? I mean, I think Does this work? No. I'm trying to think of like some way to distract this rook, but there's nothing. Or maybe like b4 here. The problem is this queen's undefended. This knight is still pinned. So the knight came back to f3, hitting the queen, but the queen's still able to find some pinning squares for this knight. So maintaining the pin, maintaining the threat. I mean, honestly, we could sacrifice, get some pawns back for the piece. We are up a piece here as white. I think there's a lot of compensation for that. Well, okay. I think white should be fine, is what I meant to say. We take back with the pawn. Yeah, now we're going to be trading off rooks and probably winning the knight or something. The queen's going to have to go somewhere. So I think what I meant to say was that black was getting the piece back, but white has a ton of compensation for losing the piece. So immediately, yeah, there's a lot of threats happening here. I was thinking sacrifice here, but then just queen takes. So I'm still trying to figure this one out. Oh, we do take. Wow. So what was that all about? Oh, because you take here, and now queen here is mate. Jeez Louise. Yeah, unbelievable. So very good move here. I knew there was some tactic in the air. I just didn't see it. So after that happened, it was very apparent. So yeah, I mean, everything's under attack here. So yeah, I guess queen takes could have been tried, but you would have two rooks against the queen and knight, which is just lost for black. So it was a very good find from white here. Alexei Sorokin, board 1. Let's look at board 1 for Harvard's Chess Club. 1 random, 2700. Let's see if they can beat Pavel. So Pavel's board 3 here. The full Russian roster. I mean, Pavel's got the United States flag, but you tell me what the name sounds like. It sounds pretty Russian to me. Smooth G, what's up? Yeah, Aaron Jacobson, board 1 for Harvard's Chess Club, 1 random. So we'll see if he can get a win here. Good to see you guys as well, by the way. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so knight to h5, just hitting this bishop. Probably gonna go bishop back somewhere. Let's see. What else could there be? Not a lot of trades yet so far. Just one pawn has been off the board. All right, so going for alternative. Knight to e5. I would take here. That's just me. Nope. So taking on e5 first. Interesting. Maybe we can see like rook to c8 eventually and pushing for c5. I like that plan. I like this bishop and the idea of opening up this. I like black just overall. It's a good feeling. So, okay, f6, interesting decision because I don't know if we ever push c5. I mean, c5 was a little too soon when I was suggesting it earlier, especially if we open up this d file. But yeah, bishop and knight here converging on d5. So we gotta have sufficient defense over d5, especially now that f6 has been played. So I think in this position, can white play here, hit the knight, or no? No, they can't because of g6. So basically, this bishop's gonna have to go back, and now black can take on f4, and they're gonna have doubled pawns here and an open g file against their king, which isn't gonna be too pleasant for white. Wow, going for queen f5 anyways, despite... Oh, there's this queen check? But... I don't know, would you want to line yourself up against this rook? Interesting here. I mean, you could take and take and take. Actually, no, rook takes and... This is weird. Ah, you have bishop like here at the end, and then you can take this. Well, no, they can go rook back defending because the knight's already here. Oh, the queen also defends. Okay, so we do take. That's really interesting. I wonder if there's anything wrong with g6. g6. I guess like queen here and like taking here is not... Aaron Gold, good to see you. Alright, I'm just trying to announce this game on the chess chat. So, okay. As a lot of you guys know, sports have been canceled for a lot of things, and I'm hoping the Collegiate Chess League can catch on. That would be pretty cool to see. Okay, what's going on in this position? Can we push out this bishop and try to win this knight? Or is... Well, I mean, if we play a move like... Oh, I wonder if there's like these ideas. Dude, this is really interesting. I mean, bishop to g5, blocking the queen's attack of the knight on h5. Look at this. Sacrificing. There's going to be bishop fork. There's going to be this rook discovery. I mean, I like how random is playing this. Aaron here from Harvard. Yeah, John, you think so? Hopefully it takes off. The problem is, I don't know how many people know about it. Oh, I guess to answer Vila's question, this is their board 4 from Texas Tech. What's good, Count Live? Good to see you. So this is board 4 versus board 2, I believe. Yeah. So their board 4, his name is Shyam Gandhi, so not from Russia. So Texas Tech does not have a full Russian team. Okay, so what's going on in this position? Don roll up and material up on the clock. SoCal Junior Chess, National Master from Texas Tech University. Trying to find some moves here. White with the bishop pair. Playing h4 here, trying to open things up on the king side. Yeah, I like white here. I wonder if a move like bishop d6 can be played, trying to get on an e7. Yeah, that's the move that's been played. So I think bishop has to come back to e6 or knight to e5. But now can you play f4? You play f4. I feel like that's something I would do. Nope, just solidifying the bishop first and foremost. C5, clamping down on this b pawn. This is interesting. What's going on? What's going on here? Yeah, I didn't like that move too much. Wow. Was that a blunder? It looks like it. I think black's just lost here. Yeah, that might have been a move made under time pressure. Yeah, trying to be tricky, but I think just queen takes. It's GG. I mean, take, bishop takes, take. I mean, the problem is, even without the bishop, I think white's still favored with the 3-2 majority on the queen side. But add the bishop on top of that, and that is GG. At least should be. Yeah, see? Zugzwang. No good moves to save the pawn. Alright, let's look at this. Holy cow, living off the increment. Is there perpetual? No, looks like they're just getting mated. Don rule with the win against Pavel. So they're board 3. So Smooth G, first off, the players have to challenge each other. So the match does not get set up automatically. And as a result, I've highly encouraged everyone to play unrated. So there's like, you know, trying to minimize like disputes or anything like that in regards to the rating. But players are allowed to play rated if they like. So haven't quite gotten the automatic pairing set up yet, but anyways. John, are you favoring the Texas teams? I think you're from Texas. I think University of Texas or UT Austin was just wiped out this morning. Or maybe not this morning, but earlier today. Yeah, that was this afternoon by Yale. Ah, you went? Okay, cool. Well, tell Texas A&M to register their team. I know you said you might still have a student email, but oh, UT Arlington, interesting. Yeah, so UT Austin, which I've been told is just called UT. I think they just got eliminated. So yeah, by Yale in a double overtime match. So I have that VOD saved. I actually made that into a highlight, and I have to apologize. Apparently the default setting is for the mic to only be heard through one ear. So I listened back, and hopefully I fixed that. But yeah, if someone had told me like in the chat, or really I should have checked myself. But yeah, I mean we're getting VODs up. I'm streaming the matches. So lots of exciting chess left to be played. And the winner of this team will go on to play Mizzou. So Count Live is definitely scouting, it seems. I mean, I would be too if I was in his shoes. And the loser of this match still survives and goes on to play UC Berkeley. So one of those two teams will be wiped out. So hopefully UC Berkeley is also watching this stream to scout the competition, I'd say. But no matter who they face, it's going to be a tough match, and one of those two teams will be eliminated. So this is a double elimination bracket. Alright, so that game is restarted. I think they probably had the wrong colors. This, again, board 1 for Harvard, Aaron Jacobson against, I believe this is the board 2 for Texas Tech. Yep. And yeah, I will be saving this VOD. The first ever stream on this account, I didn't do that. I think it defaulted to deleting the VODs. And that was like Harvard versus Yale. So that was unfortunately lost. But, I mean, I've set everything up. I mean, we've got Mubot, we've got the audio in. The current score, I'm not sure, Count Live. I unfortunately was finishing up the Purdue and UPenn match and tuned into this a little late, so I'm not fully sure. Although, just based off what I've been seeing so far, I believe that Texas Tech is winning pretty convincingly, I would say. No, Smooth G, I don't. So the games are just played on chess.com, and so far I've just been relying on the teams to report the match results themselves, which has worked out pretty well. I mean, there was one dispute yesterday that was resolved pretty quickly. We had 2 games played on the wrong color. One of them was replayed, the second one was not, and it was actually a really close match between Caltech and Drexel in Division 4. So, the games were tied at 7.5 each, and they had that one last game, and it could have gone either way. And apparently, Caltech just won a couple hours ago, so they will be, well, both teams are moving on, but Drexel B is gonna have to fight their way through in the elimination bracket. So it's tough one to lose on, and basically what came down to a tiebreak game. But yeah, other than that, I think most teams have been fairly consistent with good rating or good reporting. So this is an interesting move here, right? Saying if you take, I take back with Discover Check, winning the queen. The problem is now I like how Black has played this, sidestepping this dangerous c6 square for the pawn recapture, Discover Check, and has a threat of their own. It's a mate in 2 threat. If you play a move like b3 with tempo, you lose this, and again, mate threat. So I think, we're getting ready to take here. The problem is, this is still an annoying check. I mean, discovery, you kind of have to block, right? And then d6 can be played, so maybe king to d8 has to be played. I'm not sure. So what's going on here? That game doesn't count. Let's see. This is board 2 against board 1. So National Master against FIDE Master here. Harvard Chess Club with the white pieces. Alright, so h6, preventing the bishop from pinning the knight. It's pretty common. Developing the rook, preparing for d4, most likely. Maybe we'll see bishop coming back. Maybe we'll see this bishop coming in. Well, you don't want to go here because you're going to get forked. I'm fairly confident. So what's going to happen? This looks like it was a Ruy Lopez. I think maybe we'll see b5. No, so we do see bishop back to a7. We're probably going to see d4 still. No, so just developing the knight. Where's this knight going to go? Here, here. Does the bishop want to come back? Does this bishop wants to come in the game soon, sometime? Okay, so bringing the knight back, no longer available to take and double the pawns for black, although I don't think white would have wanted to do that anyways. But this knight's going to reroute itself. Potentially g6, looking at some of these dark squares. Alright, so this knight, this is probably theory that's going over my head, but knight back to f1. I've seen that before. Bishop back. I still think this d4 pawn push is on the table. What is happening here? I don't think I don't think the knight wants to come into f4. Not yet, at least. I think the bishop would take, and then pawn take. Maybe now that we've played rook to e8, and if we open up the e-file, our rook will be happy. What's going on here? Do you want to take, or do you want them to take? Because they also have the option to push. But if they push, I think our bishop's going to be happy on this diagonal. So the problem is, I don't think we want to take because we're helping white's center. But at the same time, we might have to take. I don't know. I don't know. Our light square bishop wants to do something. So maybe bishop d7 could be played. Nope. c6. Doing what exactly? Are we threatening d5? Perhaps. I'm not sure. Alright, so this game looks like it's going to be a long positional struggle, perhaps. But we should tune in back to Harvard's board 1. We're still faced with this dilemma here. How is this issue resolved? A lot of time was spent here by Don Rule, or I mean, one random, sorry. So only one move has been played since we last tuned in. So bishop coming out, defending, hitting the queen. So queen's coming back, offering queen trade. Takes, and the knight lives free, I believe. I mean, right? Isn't this good for... What's going on here? What's up with offering queen trade? I feel like this would be good for... I mean, they have no time. I mean, look at that. 2.5 minutes to 13 seconds. What is going on? Wow. Wow. Okay, so king f8, defending g7. Knight back. Lives to tell the tale. Was not captured on d5. So developing the knight with tempo. Can we win this pawn? Looks like we can. I'd say we can. What's there to fear? Taking with the knight. I mean, yeah. This is weird. You can fork the rooks here, and what is going on, man? He has no time. He's playing though. I mean, he's getting the moves out. So okay, what's wrong with this? You lost 2 pieces for a rook. That's not very good. And you have 6 seconds. Also not very good. Probably just trade down. Bishop here looks pretty good. Although you drop this, maybe just a5 or queen here, but then that. But then this. I don't know. There's a lot of good moves for black, not so many for white. The clock looks good for black, not so good for white. Take with check. You can, I don't know, play here. Nope. So yeah, this bishop's going to be a very happy piece. A very happy piece on f6. So yeah, bishop to c3 is a skewer. Do you want more? I mean, yeah, the thing is you play a move like bishop c3, skewering the queen and rook. Queen moves and you probably don't even want to take the rook because this bishop's just going to be so strong on these dark squares. I mean, we got the bishop pair here. Yeah, I suspect we're not even going to take. Yeah, we're going to penetrate on these dark squares. So move like... Okay. I was expecting like a4, but I guess the queen's in time to defend. Man, we got to get this rook in the game, really, is what we need. Maybe something like g6? That's what I would do. No? f6. See? So even if you don't take the rook, the thing is that this bishop's so good that white wants to give you the rook for the bishop. So instead, trying to open things up here. So, I mean, things aren't 100% clear yet. White's fighting on despite no time. What's going on? So yeah, I like the rook to c8 move. Now threatening here. Queen's got to come back. I mean, that's the... Oh, you have 2 moves, I suppose, but... All right, so what's the story here? Bishop here looks good, but you drop d7, so king over first. Just close everything down. Should be a fairly easy conversion for black, in my opinion. En passant. Yep. Bishop here or here. Yep. Rook to c8. Yep. d5. Yep. I mean, it's so easy to play for black. I could do it. So, what? Take here. You also have bishop d3 can be played. I mean, you can play here as well. Yep. Bishop here, but bishop takes. Or rook check. Either way. Either way. I guess bishop check would have been smoother. But, I mean, why complicate it? Just simplify. Here, we saw Beast from West beat board 4 from Texas Tech. Let's look at this match. This is board 1 from Texas Tech against board 2 from Harvard Chess Club. Don Rule. Bishop takes. No. Wow. Oh, we got queen takes tactics. Look at that discover check. I mean, it's a check, but it's a discovery of the queen. So this is just a simple, 2-3 pawns. I did like bishop takes. Oh, if queen blocks, we have bishop takes check. And here we have this. Here we have this. Oh my god. Wow. What a crazy tactic. Knight takes h3. I mean, super aggressive attacking lines here. I mean, yeah, just bishop takes. If bishop block, take, queen takes, checkmate on g1. So, well done by Alexei here. Taking his sweet time there. Maybe not his sweet time, but enough time. Yeah, board 1. Finally, I mean, this game was over pretty early on, I'd say. Let's see here. So this is the board 3s. This is the final round, I believe. Let's look really quickly back at this game. I believe this is the board 4 against the board 3 for Harvard. Harvard's board 4. Let's look at this real quick. Okay, so just, yeah, getting that past outside pawn. And there goes the game. But, yeah, we saw that. Unfortunately, Veg Duck could not pull through. Okay. So this is the board 2 for Texas Tech Chess Club. Let's see, just some pretty simple development. I think black could take here and say that white has wasted the tempo, but I'm sure this is a pretty theoretical position that probably both players have seen a lot by now. But yeah, I think we would like to play e4 as white and get this bishop and pinning the knight to the queen. There is this second knight, but yeah, the idea is that we're attacking h7 and the knight is defending. Let's see. So first major thing, I guess, for Team White here. All right, fairly quick rook to d1, lining up with the queen. Fairly simple response. Eventually, I mean, I would play like rook e1, going for e4, get the bishop out, and then play the other rook to either c1 or d1. But this is also just as good. Lots of pieces on this d file. So every single square occupied except for d2. Alright, so bishop was under attack. Probably just knight f6 here, defending h7, attacking e4. So the bishop's going to have to go back, most likely. That, or we could pin the knight. Yep, so we do that. And now h6 being played, guarding the pawn, because the threat was to take the knight and give check. Not really give check, more so just take the h-pawn. So that's why h6 was played with tempo, kicking the bishop back, protecting that h7 pawn. So now the bishop comes back, no longer a pinned knight, so this bishop is finally being questioned what to do. I guess not necessarily, because knight takes, bishop, attacking the queen and the rook, so queen takes back. So it'd be a fair trade of 2 pieces each, but, you know, I don't know if white wants to give up. The bishop is the thing. So let's see here. Maybe considering d5. Okay, just taking the knight right away. Maintaining the light square bishop. And yeah, again, d5's move coming to my mind since we played rook to d1. Any downside? Can black just take a whole bunch of times? Probably. So that might have just been losing a pawn. Instead of d5, we're going c5 here, interestingly enough. Actually, I guess it makes sense. You want to block this c pawn and say that your bishop on b7 is really locked in. So, not the happiest of pieces for Team Black. And yeah, just white now, getting the second rook into the game to c1. Doubling up on the c file. So I guess there is a threat taking here and here. But can black just double up as well? I'm not too sure. Let's tune into Veg Ducks game. These are the board 4s going at it. So National Master for Texas Tech. Everyone on that team seems titled. A very strong Texas Tech team. So if they move on, and I think they likely will, Mizzou's going to have their work cut out for them. That's going to be a big match. Texas Tech versus Mizzou next week. Count Live definitely tuning in. I hope his players are looking as well. Definitely going to be a very exciting match next week, whoever they face. So, yeah, this game has just started. We've got this pretty deep pawn on d4. Not sure how easy it's going to be to defend. But maybe just a move like bishop c5 should be sufficient. I mean, it's not even needing to be defended right now. But yeah, Team White up a pawn. Potentially going to get one back. It is kind of annoying, though, for the time being. And this pawn seems like it's going to fall, so you don't really want to play a move like bishop to f4 and ruin your kingside structure, especially now that you've castled. So material is even. I guess this is some sort of queen's gambit from black. Declined. Okay. Also going for a fianchetto. But does this pawn fall now? No, there's a discovered fork in the end. Right? Yeah, so if like queen takes, bishop takes, knight check, bishop takes bishop, winning the rook. So doesn't quite work. Yeah, Yeah, same with like bishop takes. You just play queen takes. Queen takes. Same thing. Forking the pieces. Even if you take the knight, you're going to be winning the rook at the end. So this pawn is defended. And black is getting ready to castle kingside here. Huge time difference already. I mean, SoCal Jr. here. Shyam, over 5 minutes still. And Vegduck almost taking up half his clock. Smooth G, I don't fully understand your question. All the matches are like regulated matches. I mean, like, I don't know. Could you reword it for me, please? Let's look at Beast from Weiss. This is the board 3 matchup. Pavel. Pavel's the only one without a title. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Pavel was titled. Okay, what's going on here? We've got this really annoying h7 pawn. We're attacking d3, but it's easily thwarted. Do we take this now? I would take. I would totally take. Although, you know, the pawn could be used as shelter. What's going on here? What's this queen guarding? This check. Wow. Queen takes. Queen to d4 would be checkmate. These super strong diagonals. Wow. Looks like white is in a really tough bind here. I mean, this bishop has to guard this g2 square. So what's the idea here? Trying to trade this off? Super low on the clock for Pavel here. We'll see if Harvard can get a point out of this. It looks like if you trade off the material, you should be fine. I think a move like rook to d1 would be good, following up with bishop to b5, skewering the rook and the bishop. But there is rook to f2 to defend, but not very pleasant. Oh, like move down a division. No, so you have 4 different divisions, and each division has 16 teams, and they're paired off in a bracket. It's a double elimination bracket. So once a team loses 2 matches, it's done for. And a lot of schools have B teams. So if you're on a school's A team and you get eliminated, you are not allowed to play on the B team. So, okay, what's up with rook here? I mean, knight here. Yeah, can you win this? And now just move the rook over. Yep. All right, and just move the knight out. Yep. Yeah, looks like, wow, black has really turned this around. I don't like how white played, although black only 4 seconds. Jeez Louise, man. Up all the clock. Oh my god. Down to 1 second. Just time burners, man. Gain some clock back. Well, maybe not all 3. All 3 seconds. I mean, all 3 repetitions would not be very good. We play rook here. Is that a thing? And now, yeah, this pawn's gonna fall. So black's, I mean, crushing it in the position, but just no time. I still would rather have black, though, to be fair. Yeah, trying to get this stuff off. Oh, that's a big fork. Oh, jeez. Ah, you didn't even take the knight. Well, you didn't really need to. Yeah, this should be a pretty simple win for black now. And, man, oh man. That was a tough one to lose. Especially when they're down to 1 second. Tough one, man. Tough, tough, tough. Pavel. Super clutch there. No time. Alright, let's look at this game real quick. What's going on? So, white is up 2 pawns. Black trying to get some activity here on the second rank. Gotta watch out for back rank as well. No time to dilly-dally with your D-file rook. It has an important job. Both sides super low on the clock. Anything could happen. Man, it looks like all of the Harvard players are super low on the clock. I mean, here, board 1, only 10 seconds to over a minute for Alexei. You could take here. I mean, I'm just looking at this really quick. Yeah, try to undermine this. This is a good... What is going on? Like knight here could be played. Takes. Let's go back to this game where both players have no time. Essentially. Trying to push this outside pass pawn. This rook is blocking off the king. So if this... I don't know if this pawn could do something. White's definitely winning here. Both sides are really low on the clock. Black has to get the rook back. This pawn is pushing. Unfortunately, gonna run out of checks soon. Maybe, nope, just moving up the pawn. Yeah, this is too easy for white. You can push, you can take. Why noise? Good to see you. Yeah, this is a solid setup for white. Really no match. You can check, you can push. Yep, just push. I would push and then king up. Or yeah, I just win that. Seems pretty good. Okay. Oh, blocking here. Now push. No, this forces a rook off the board and throws in the towel there. All right, let's look at this game. One random, 4-second. Aaron Jacobson here for board 1, Team Harvard. 1 second left. It's tough. 2700 versus 2850. Really big matchup. What's going on here? Wow, what is this all about? Oh, the queen's there. Oh, but there's rook check. I mean, rook block. I mean, knight block. I can't even talk. Okay, so rook here has to be played. My god. Bishop here. Yeah, that's it. Wow. I mean, you just step out of the way. That was the only move. And you take this now. I mean, you could take with the bishop. It could be stronger. But this just simplifies everything. Super simple. Super simple. Right? Just trying not to give up any tricks. Don't flag. Yeah. What a rook sack there. I thought that was losing exchange because I missed the knight block, but that knight was just deadly pinned, and even with the rook support, there was just no time. Oh my goodness. Is there perpetual? No, just bring the queen back. Oh my god. Is that perpetual? That's perpetual. Oh my god, he almost flagged. Holy smokes. You just agree to draw. Don't flag. Oh my god, did he just flag? Dude. What just happened there? I mean, okay, I'm assuming Texas Tech like had the match clenched, but this could be like a huge swing. I mean, one game is a 2-point swing. So, I mean, that was a perpetual, which Black would have very happily taken. But instead, Alexei, probably with some bad internet connection, getting flagged here. Wow. But, I mean, they should have seen what was up with this move. I feel like after h4, this should be like the most immediate thing that comes to mind. You got to play a move like Queen D1. I mean, that's like an only move. But okay. Regardless, I don't know if that win's going to come back to haunt Texas Tech, but we'll see. Big swing in events there. What's going on here? White has a queen and a bunch of pawns. I think black is just completely gone here. This is the board 4 matchup, and we see Veg Duck beating Cheyenne. Bishop b6. Bishop b6. Are you talking about the last game? Oh, bishop b6 could be played as well, yeah. But I mean, they played neither. Queen d1 or bishop b6 both would have been sufficient. But, I mean, queen d7? I don't know. Maybe trying to come back over here, but it was very, very obviously too slow after a move like h4. But, you know, who am I to say? These both are FIDE Master players, and, you know, it's tough when you have no time. But yeah, I think that's the end of round 4. Sorokin is GM. I mean, yeah, 2853. So, wow. So are they just missing some norms? I suspect, if they're 2550 FIDE. So yeah, I mean, Aaron Jacobson here getting the perpetual at the end, but yeah, probably pretty happy with this result. I mean, especially if, you know, this player is grandmaster level. Didn't want to pay for IM title. My goodness. With 2G, so you're saying he's going to skip straight from FIDE master to grandmaster. And what's the point of, like, how much? I don't know. I feel like when you get titles, don't you get like perks, like cheaper entry fees and stuff? I guess you could calculate how much money you could save with the IM title versus an FM title and justify not paying for it because it's not going to be worth, I suppose. But anyways, I don't know the world of titles, and it's not my decision to make. But yeah, that's cool that you know. He's skipping. He's leapfrogging. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Maybe I should just like really quickly add up all the scores just to double check. Let's see if I can do this to the side. So Alexei went 3-1 with this one game blemish on their match record. This could have been a win if one of these 3 moves had been played. Unfortunately, queen d7 was missed, and even this could have been a draw if they had just, you know, played down. There is increment, but they flagged. They flagged and they lost, so they could have gone undefeated. They could have gone flawless 4-0, but was not to be. So that was Alexei. Let's look at, let's see. Oh, so I believe Andrei Barishpolets went the perfect 4-0. So between their first 2 boards, they went 7-1, and it very easily could have been 8-1. Wow, very, very strong 1-2 punch here from Texas Tech. Okay, let me look at the next player. So their board 4. Ooh, their board 4 did not do so hot. Let's see. I believe they lost all 4 games. Let's look at their board 3. So board 3, They went 3-1. So I think the overall score for the match is 10-6. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So, man, count live if you're taking notes, you got to look at their board 4, I suppose. That could be their weak point. But yeah, tough match. I mean, if the top 2 boards went flawless, that guarantees a draw in the match, and then they just need a draw on, one of 8 games from their bottom 2 boards. But, their 4th board went 0-4. So I don't know. You gotta figure out the top 2 boards, I suppose. I mean, you guys definitely have a really strong team. But yeah, Harvard, tough loss, tough matchup. But they will be playing UC Berkeley next week, and that will be an elimination team, or game, or match, or whatever. But yeah, one of the 2 teams, Harvard and UC Berkeley, is gonna be eliminated. So both really good schools. That's going to be an interesting matchup to see. But yeah, I'm definitely excited for Texas Tech and Mizzou. That's going to be a big one. And the winner between Mizzou and Texas Tech is going to go on to face the winner between SLU and Princeton. So SLU has a very strong team, but I know Princeton just got off of school, so they're going to have a full matchup, which includes Andrew Tang. So I mean, any team with Andrew Tang is going to be hard to beat. But yeah, Princeton didn't even use Andrew Tang last week, and they still won. So they got a good team as well. So let me update this bracket score. 10-6. Should be. All right, so yeah, you guys, again, appreciate all the follows. Appreciate you guys watching. This is definitely pretty cool to be able to host this and to show you guys these games between these schools.